I also saw the Mongol proverb of if you're afraid, don't do it. If you do it, don't be afraid.
Yes,
That you
yes,
especially celebrate. I mean, there is something to that. This, in many ways, Genghis Khan is a representation of a person, like of a self-made man. That person from nothing
yes,
willed an entire empire into
yes,
existence.
yes. And everything against him that you can think of. Your own family deserting you, your father dying at an early age, all these things like that. But as Jamilka said, he had a good mother and he had a good wife. And there were many crucial points at which it was either his mother or his wife who made the deciding point. His wife, Bushta, was the one who caused the first break with Jamilka to go away. Later on, when the shamans had become too powerful and they had humiliated his younger brother, she was the one who said he had to clamp down on the shamans who were exercising too much power. And she guided him a lot.
It cannot be understated how important and critical women are in the story of the Mongol
Yes,
Empire. It's
yes.
fascinating.
And sometimes we could say they're not behind the scenes because they're always out front. In the Mongol court, they always sat up front. They were always out front. And this horrified the Chinese, who were very good Confucius. It horrified the Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
It horrified the Christians. Who they didn't know what to. They said the women even drink in public. Okay, yeah, they drink in public. You know,
Yeah.
they do what. So sometimes it was like that, but other times, as with Dorjin, she's actually the ruler. Or the case of his daughters, such as Alakai Bek, who ruled over a part of northern China called the Angut people, and the other daughters who ruled over different. They ruled in their own names. And he's very. This is something about the secret history that upset me. I get to chapter. All the sections are numbered. I get to chapter or section 215, and there's only half a sentence left. In 214, he's just awarded a girl, he calls his daughter, so she's probably a clan daughter, but she lives with his mother at this point. His youngest son, Talo, is only 4 years old. A Tatar comes and Mother Erlum gives him food because you food everybody. He realizes this is the mother of Genghis Khan and that's the child of Genghis Khan. He grabs him up and kidnaps him and runs out and he's holding the child in one hand and he's pulling out a knife with another hand. Altani raced out and she grabbed his arm and held it down. And two men, Jeb and Jilm, they were back behind the gear slaughtering an ox with an axe because that's you have to do it in the shade behind a gear. That's you don't do it in the light. And so they were back there doing that. And so they raced out with an axe and they killed the man. And so then Genghis Khan was rewarding everybody for all their great deeds. And Jelm and Jeb, they wanted to be rewarded for saving the life of Talo. He said, no, you killed the Tatar. Altani saved his life because she held the hand that had the knife until you got there to kill him. She saved it, and now we reward her. So he's finished that story in 214. We get to 215. He says, now let us reward our daughters. It's actually only a phrase of that's I said it's a complete sentence, but it's not quite complete. The rest is gone, cut out. It's missing. And I was just so, and I looked at all these different translations of how the different language, and most often they translated as, and now let us marry our daughters. Oh no, oh no. He was very clear in his wedding speeches to his daughters. I give these people to you to rule. You have 3 husbands. You have your honor, you have your nation, and you have the man that I give to you. But the man I give to you goes in the army with me and brings his soldiers.
Genius.
You stay here and rule the people.
Brilliant.
The Chinese, when they arrived in the court of Altani, they didn't know what to think. There she is ruling this area of the Ongut people. And they said, well, she can read and write, and she's the supreme judge, and she doesn't allow any death sentence without her permission. And But they didn't say which languages she could read and write. That has really puzzled me a lot.
So you're saying the secret history, as we have gotten access to, has been edited to remove the significance of women, even though they're still there.
In that case, I mean, other cases with his mother, they did not and all. But I think in that case, because what happened is most of these women had few offsprings because their husband was gone to war. And Al-Thani, of course, she married several times, sometimes the sons of the last one, But they were going off to war and they weren't reproducing very. Only one, Tsetchikat, who was ruling in Siberia, she was the one who had a whole bunch of daughters. They wouldn't be going off to war. And so they actually spread out through the empire and had a lot of power later. But what happened was the area for Allio Bek, for example, was then taken over by Kublai Khan. And then the areas, all the Turkic areas one by one, were taken over by their nephews as they died out, not in their own lifetime. They didn't kill the women off. But as they died out, the men took it over. And so then they just wanted to kind of erase it. It's like, no, northern China, even though it was ruled by Sorokhtani, it always was Mongol. She was ruling because her husband was Mongol and her sons were Mongol. Therefore, they had the right to rule it. So they cut out the women for those reasons. I think anytime it threatened the power of a particular man. Then there are other little things that are added in there. Sometimes you can find a phrase and you say,
This does not
that
fit
phrase
here.
was not in the original.
Yeah.